The world of fantasy is a multi-million-dollar empire, an escape that sells games like Warcraft, Second Life, and Dungeons and Dragons. For most, playing a game is entertainment enough. But others, like the people you're about to meet, want to live it. And so on weekends, teachers, lawyers, maybe your neighbors, become warriors, orcs, and dragons. And recently, they extended an invitation to our Mike Drolet to experience firsthand their world of live-action role-play.
What do you pack when you're going camping for the weekend? Sweaters, boots? The usual, of course. After all, you may need to deal with the possibility of wild animals. So you pack your axe and possibly a sword. Yeah, the essentials. Because you never know when a barbarian horde is going to attack your campground. Yep, that's me.
Mulligan, swing your sword!
One of the fighting hordes. We'll get back to the battle, but first let's go to the safety of the city for a moment. Walking through his Toronto neighborhood, there's nothing that sets Talman Firestone apart from anybody else, but he has a side to him you wouldn't know. Just as down the highway in London, Ontario, twins Michelle and Morgan live regular lives, but harbor secrets they only let out in a mystical world called Jericho. This is Jericho, in a place called Underworld. Sure, you could mistake it for a horse paddy-filled field near Peterborough, Ontario, but on this weekend it passes for Middle Earth, filled with monsters and mythical characters, some with tails, others with ghoulish masks.
You can get venom sacs out of spiders.
I mean, like, this stuff was from a lizard.
So this clearly needs explaining. All these people are in a world ruled by LARP, LARP, live-action role-playing. Remember Dungeons and Dragons? It's that, but instead of sitting around a table and rolling dice to decide your character's fate, you are the character.
Geek is chic. It's really popular to be geeky and dorky now. I mean, like 10 years ago, if you talked about somebody who was going to do live-action role-playing, they'd probably get laughed at.
Yeah, I think they're waiting for you to laugh at it a little bit. I mean, it comes out in comedy movies and stuff.
But the stereotypes are out there, and this group isn't oblivious to them. Even so, David Ashby, the head LARPer, a network administrator in real life, gets a little exasperated trying to understand it.
We have teachers, bouncers, security guards, we have lawyers, we have police officers that play. It's anybody from any walk of life.
The stigma of a game player being socially inept, living in the basement, it's not true.
That's David Owen. He's a gaming expert, a PhD student studying how and why we play games.
I personally think it's quite a healthy thing to do. I don't think it's that far from playing games in other aspects, tabletop or video games or board games or whatnot. The level of immersion is different.
But playing the game isn't the only commitment. Planning it is too. David is a guy they call a shaper. You could think of him as the master of the LARPer universe. And he plots that universe in the most ordinary of places. A suburban backyard.
But what is the plot? What is the story that they have to solve?
Shapers carefully craft the scenes LARPers play out. Back at the LARPer event, those twisted plots are about to unfold.
This weekend here, we have there's an evil god of necromancy and undead called Mulligan, and he's hired a bunch of barbarians. He's coming to town with a nefarious purpose.
There are two types of LARPers, ones who are essentially actors, who play multiple characters to help move the story along. This weekend, Michelle is doing that.
You should be very kind of shy and demure in the back because you actually know that you're guilty.
Kingdom of Felnir is not going to hand one of her daughters over to a ragtag group of bounty hunters.
And the ones who have one character they've developed over years, that they live all weekend, like Talman.
My character is a mercenary. The character concept is to be more of a philosophical warrior.
By the authority of the Magistrate of Jericho, we will take Felicity by force right now.
Talman first started LARPing in high school before life interceded and took him on a different path. He's an expert on nuclear fusion. So you might say LARPing brings a balance to his life. On weekends, he puts aside science for a medieval extreme.
If they do defend themselves or if they do attack us, let's drop them.
That's kind of, I think, what attracted me to get back into LARPing is to be able to do something that I can't do in real life, which is fight dragons or orcs or whatnot and swing a sword.
You are currently aiding and abetting a wanted criminal.
It's a theme we would hear time and again. What they wouldn't do in regular society, they do here.
Will you let them search you just so they know you don't have anything?
Remember the twins, Michelle and Morgan?
Is it a rush that you don't get in real life?
Definitely, definitely. There's the chance to try other characters too. Like, you can come in as a character that you wouldn't be in the real world.
Or, depending on your LARPer fate, you can end up with a bounty on your head, locked away in a cage, awaiting trial.
You need to listen for your orders. Pay more attention.
Next on 16 by 9, an epic battle.
Full body, full body, full body.
In a farmer's field.
We've entered a mystical realm full of warriors, sea monsters, and cat-like people. Overall, a group so dedicated to the story, they eschew the comforts of home, including bug spray.
How many mosquitoes have bitten you?
Oh.
I don't even notice this, whatever.
So embracing the moment clearly matters in this Peterborough field. And to get a better sense of why they do it, I've entered their world. That means shedding aside all the trappings of home and embracing a new me.
So we're about to have a battle, though.
We are, yep.
So is that what I'm going to get involved in?
Absolutely, yep.
So
we're going to have to find you some costume.
Let's do that.
All right.
Let's do that then.
Very furry.
Got your hammer?
A hammer?
Yeah.
Very nice.
No swinging back like that.
If I'm running up, I can just swing it up there, but then if I want to swing
Absolutely.
it,
You're going to hit somebody. Yeah, 90-degree swing, so like this.
Because really, I want to scare the crap out of them when I'm running like this.
Sure, yeah, and you scream and yell. That's that.
And I'm going to scream and yell.
Once I've been painted up and learned the basics of fighting, I'm ready. All I need is a name.
You have a new member of your barbarian horde. This is Kronk.
Kronk!
So, first name Kronk, nickname The Adequate. Not exactly a fearsome handle in this gaggle of barbarians, but you have to start somewhere. Most LARPers started in high school, Robert Fisher included.
Oh, congratulations, Dennis! I've been doing it since I was 16. It's an absolute great escape, you know. You got to be serious at your job. You got to take things seriously in life. But then you come out here one weekend in a month, and it just doesn't matter what you want to do. You know, you can be as silly as you want. If I want to talk in a high-pitched, squeaky voice and run around the woods with weapons, and it's hilariously fun.
And he sounds like that all weekend long, because LARPers stay in character 24/7. That means if you're a cat person, you're living the feline life for 48 hours. And if you decide to go to the swimming hole to cool off during the day, you better bring your weapon, because you never know when a terrifying fish will rear its foam head. LARP rules are simple. You can be killed anytime, anywhere.
One guy who got attacked in the middle of the night when he was sleeping in the nude, and he decided to pick up his sword and fight off his attackers in the nude.
Who was more surprised that night?
I think the attackers were.
Who won that fight?
The nude guy.
In fact, my job, as it's been described to me, is to die, so the full-time players have a good time. But dying in LARPing isn't easy. In fact, it involves math.
You have 40 body swinging for fours, you can take about 10 hits. But you subtract that to your, from your total body points, and once you hit 0, you fall down. You're dead.
Dead as in game over. Sort of.
You're allowed to die 2 times in-game, and you resurrect freely. After that, there's a 50-50 chance that you'll either die permanently or come back.
And dying is hard to take when you've been working on your character and costume for years.
If your character dies, all of this effort gone out the window, right?
Done.
Have you died? How long have you been this character?
I've been this character for 3 years. This is my second character playing in Underworld.
Did you die before?
Yeah, I died. I was a gargling before this. One of the things about Underworld is that Sometimes your deaths aren't big and epic. Sometimes they're just ignoble. It's sort of like that in life, you know, when you get taken out, it's not when you're ready and prepared for some epic battle. It's when you're tired and just trying to make it back to your tent.
Fortunately, I am prepared for an epic battle to the death. I gather with the rest of the barbarian horde as we head out for our next move, which is basically run at the other players and die.
Pelicans will eat your soul! Four bodies! Four of
Means you can only take one step every 3 seconds.
Okay, hold on, this needs explaining. I've just been hit by a slow-mo spell. It doesn't take long for slow-mo Mike to die.
I start searching you.
LARPers are good at sensing the weakest of the herd.
How are my fighting skills? Your fighting skills are adequate, and my dying skills? Your dying skills are amazing. Very dramatic, very dramatic.
So if you're keeping track at home, I die better than I fight. Perfect for a barbarian. And if you think it's easy, you've never worn elf ears.
Come on, let's get you to the healing tent.
He's dying!
Need a life spell!
Put him down, sir.
Whoa!
It's the shadow. He's dying. Put him down. We need a stasis now.
Activate Skrull Harvest!
Tongue strength, please, receive.
Justin, how does Valhalla taste?
You at the watering hole, yeah?
That
was a good fight.
And that is our broadcast for this evening. For more on tonight's stories, head to our website at global16by9.com. I'm Carolyn Jarvis. From all of us here, thanks for watching and have a great weekend.